At William and Mary, bold moments define us. We push boundaries and find creative solutions. We take risks and pursue our passions. We ignite curiosity and change the world. At William and Mary, we see bold in action. We challenge what is known, explore what is new, and imagine a bold future. We are, and always will be, a university for the bold.
I was born bold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back from the break. We're here on EGFC Week 14 for our fourth match of the night. My name is Keelan Miles, on the mic with User Intel, and we're getting ready to go into William and Mary versus the new up-and-comer UT Arlington.
And I gotta say, tonight is gonna be another match to where we get to see if UT Arlington are showing the consistency that I at least have been seeing within them, or will William and Mary continue to just look very shining, get that upward spiral, and, well, especially just shine. That's always what I'm looking for. With the players already ready, they are ready more than anything.
Yeah, well, got a, frankly, I'm honestly puzzled how this match is going to turn out, so I'm curious to see. We've got Dren Goddard as William and Mary's Game & Watch against Curry, the Incineroar. Now, Curry has been a terrifying threat against many a foe, and they've gotten an early lead for UT Arlington quite a few times. However, it's very hard to be an up-close and personal brawler who likes to land on top of opponents with very few drift mix-ups against a character like Game & Watch.
I agree. They are already getting ready as Curry already gets that revenge. It's just looking to hit a heavy slam, but it does see that Dren is more than prepared to start countering out, make sure the time limit is gone, and is basically playing around it perfectly.
Yep, and that is, I mean, textbook Game & Watch. This is why I was saying it was hard. Incineroar, not a lot of aerial drift, so you can't really space that well around Game & Watch's up the out of shield or sometimes even up smash. But Game & Watch is very light. So all you need is 3 hard reads, and you can probably take this stock.
But Curry not really having the opportunity to do so, is more playing around into the middle, just hoping for that opportunity, but the chance that they get, it ends up getting shielded, and they're knocked into the air once more, going on to the side of the stage. Dren is just not giving a chance for the revenges to be possible, but the side B may give them a chance to be looking for what they want.
And now, and another bury, another kill. Even from center stage, that rage gonna lend a hand there, and this is, again, looking, like I said, I was puzzled by how this is going to turn out, because in theory, it's not that great, but in theory, a lot of Incineroar's matchups aren't great. However, Game & Watch has a unique ability to sort of just invalidate you if you cannot pressure the shield at a range where up B isn't going to hit. Especially if you can't land that well.
Curry off the stage once more, is going to get that recovery, but leads herself way too open. Dren on a completely different level than what I remember seeing, able to get right back on. Curry just looking to take that stock, is trying to just get a hit. The revenge is now there. That could be a prime opportunity, but the problem is that, well, never mind. You're finally going to able to land that smack, but Kilo, the Dren's coming back with basically a free life.
Yeah, this is, I would say, it's not impossible. Again, with all this rage, there is a chance. All you need now is one more revenge, one more side B towards the side, and you could take this stock. Incineroar will live a little bit longer, but one of Game & Watch's incredibly safe smash attacks, or even a forward tilt, a down tilt, anything, that'll kill too. No, you're able to get the air dodge up. Beautiful stuff right there. Again, textbook Game & Watch thus far, and you're gonna, well, sidestep that side swipe, and you're going to obliterate them with the hammers.
You know, I always forget the specific reasons of why you should be respecting the Game and Watch. I think that recovery is just a good moment right there. Really able to come back, and I gotta say, really good performance on the Game and Watch. Curry taking those opportunities, just trying to figure out how to go up against it. Now they will be having just another good moment, because most likely Curry's gonna be staying over to that Incineroar. I love it. Hilo, do you?
Oh, I love it too. Like, I'm not all about character hate. I will say there is a thing of beauty seeing someone play a character like Game & Watch and actually make all the right decisions. Like, there are very few situations, I honestly can't think of any off the top of my head, where I'm like, man, Drengotter didn't play that right. Drengotter's overcommitting. Drengotter didn't overcommit at all, played their game, out-tiered Incineroar, and just played with punish. And it wasn't even necessarily with punish, because a whiff, it's more just punish when they just land on top of you. It, like, Game & Watch has the ability to punish you if you land anywhere near their shield, or even if, like, they have disjoints like the forward tilt that also played a factor.
Absolutely right. Now we're just gonna see if that opportunity, seeing how the Game & Watch worked, is going to cause any type of difference. Quite possibly maybe a couple more spikes, though Game & Watch is going to be able to just launch himself high into the sky, so that is me more hoping for the best than anything, but I wouldn't want to count them out just yet. We've seen how Curry feels when they're back up into the corner, and often they're able to kind of hit things that I at least don't expect to happen. When it comes down to the revenge, it's always been their game plan, and going back into PS2, we'll have to see if that will be the same objective.
Yeah, and you can see Curry is taking it upon themselves to try and find this approach, which, I mean, does give you the benefit of choosing when and where the engagement happens. But now, here's what you get. The pressure on the platform. Right now, there's a slight percentage lead, but again, it's going to be a lot of stray hits, but that is a nice call out on that Nair. Curry playing this a lot safer, a lot more patient, a lot more precise. That's the most important thing.
Really just gotta take your time in this type of scenario. Look at that, able to force Ren once more off with the neutral, but needs to play very carefully. I'm loving just the fact using the air hit to play as cautiously as before, though it's not gonna land just as they wish. Seems that Dren is still more than ready to look to punish the whiffs.
Yeah, they are. As now, starting to get, I mean, I want to say that Curry is looking a lot better, but I'm wondering if Drengotter just needs to clean up their gameplay a little bit, go back to that textbook, outranging with the disjoints, but no, it's really just their movement that is being called out hard, user. Darkest Lariat.
Dren is still looking to keep this close range fight. However, is not really expecting Curry, is more paying attention to how Curry's trying to move in a lot closer, trying to predict when they're going out, but Curry is taking their time, causing these slams to just not land as well as they naturally would. And look at that. Smashes you to the ground, launches you into the air, and once again, you're able to land it, but that's more of a mistake on Curry, and now a bigger one on your end.
I've never seen such a one-sided game one into a possible 3-stock in the second game. As you call out the downer and off the top, is it possible? No! Good DI to the corner to survive, but still 92% from that one interaction right now. Curry is looking to completely even up the scoreline.
Dren, unfortunately, does not prepare against the side B. Is going to be launched, is spending a lot of time looking to just hit into the shield. Is it going to be stopping Curry from getting onto the stage? But look, Curry's at 150, you're at 127. You just have to not get grabbed against a character who is a macho man.
User, what did we just watch?
I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, let's just take a look at some of these in slow motion, see if we can get a little bit more. Obviously, that's just a kill throw. Messed up your spacing. Now, again, got her here at kill percent. They spot dodge and then down smash. Okay, that must have been the tail of the match. I was so caught up in the momentum, and so was Drengotter, that I didn't see it. Drengotter, little bit of a mash right there. They were just spot dodge, down smash. They wanted the buttons out constantly. They wanted an action out constantly. And with Curry just slowing down, they must have caught on to those patterns a lot better. As now we can see, let's take a look here. Yeah, just a preemptive dash attack. And that's not as heinous as before, but that is what got the final grab into that kill. But when you're down 3 stocks to 1, sometimes you just got to take those deep breath and get a hard reset. Still though, like, I don't think a mash is that bad. It was an educated mash user. They were pressing all the right buttons, just not, well, with the right time.
I definitely feel Dren was just looking to try to play a bit more unpredictably, trying to just mess up how that Incineroar really wants to take that fight. Unfortunately, I think that was way too much on the focus. They weren't slowing down. They weren't trying to adapt around it. And as we saw, Curry was able to get a lot out of it, especially with the up B recovery, being able to land, take that free stock. It's a moment where I think you want to go in for those grabs. You really just want to look to disjoint the Incineroar rather than, you know, hoping that they're going to be walking into those attacks. Now, you're absolutely right when it came down to first round being very one-sided, second round now going into that, you know, 3-stock scenario. They both have had every time to figure out how they're going to do, but Curry may have the momentum.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine now where you go from here. Now, I am thinking, in my mind, that both of them need to slow the pace of the game down. I feel like Drengotter got a little caught up in the momentum, especially once they were down. I think that game ended when their initial Nair combo was broken by the revenge. Obviously, you could just say, be a little firmer with that execution, but you know that they want that revenge as early as possible in that Nair combo, so maybe just wait for that, try and bait that out. I mean, obviously it's easier said than done, but these are high-level players here. This is William and Mary and UT Arlington, 2 of our top teams. If anyone can do that, if anyone can get that sort of adaptation and come back from a 3-stock immediately, it's Drengotter.
You make an amazing point. Dren is, I think also recently, don't quote me on this, but has been going to a lot of these third rounds, been spending a lot of time, I think, just trying to work on it. But Battlefield, of all maps, we're not going back to PS2, so being on a place like that, is that still relative even ground? Or, you know, the Incineroar, there's a lot more stages to have safety on.
Well, yeah, I don't think you want to go to any sort of... Well, okay, they are going to Battlefield. Yeah. I know Incineroar loves stages like Town and City where you can kill very early off the sides. So I feel like a somewhat neutral stage like this is probably for the best. The platforms still give Incineroar a lot of mix-ups on the recovery, but those are mix-ups Game & Watch can cover.
Though, not expecting just a plain and ordinary revenge is almost going to take that early stock, but Dren able to survive back onto this edge is going to be punishing Curry for not preparing enough, though not going to be able to predict when they come back. It's still incredibly scary as they're both just hoping to take this early stock.
I love what I'm seeing though here, user. I mean, you had that one slip up earlier, but Drengotter is for the most part playing this like reactive instead of proactive. They're not throwing out preemptive hitboxes. No, they're waiting for Curry to make a slow move with their inferior frame data, and then they come in and swing. And sometimes they're a little misspaced, but they always maintain enough distance that they're not hard punished, at least not yet.
Now, though, you have to be careful. That armor isn't going to be lasting forever as you get on the beautiful side beat. You're going to be launching your opponent, but it's not going to lead into a confirm. Rather, it's just going to be the simple kick in the air that leads it. Now, Dren, this is the prime opportunity. You have to show that you're still ready for in this game. You have to get your own type of confirm, but Curry, staying on to the bottom, is looking to play carefully, though you get knocked up, and we see the Puffs looking to take you out. A free dodge is just going to allow you to have a bit more time, a bit more room, though that revenge may have been too inspirational.
As Curry holding on stubbornly to this stock. How do you get this edge guard situation set up? How do you land this smash attack? Because while you're fishing for it, throwing out a forward smash willy-nilly like that, that's not going to fly in Curry's book, not in their airspace, as they're going to get this grab here. And even with the trade, okay, they're going to survive, but just barely.
Yeah, but I mean, Curry's still at a massive advantage. We can basically say that the Incineroar is already putting the Game & Watch at a kill percentage. We know how strong the moves are, and the revenge! Curry's at such a high stock that you really just need to throw him off, launch him into the sky, and, well, finish them out. But once again, not prepared against the up B recovery, not grabbing onto the side, gonna take that stock. Now Dren, basically mirroring what happened before.
Beautiful adaptations here from Curry. Interrupting their own combo with the revenge, knowing that you want to mash Nair out of it. Curry's in Drengotter's head. If Drengotter had been better on their spacing, then Curry would have been hit. That was beautiful stuff right there. And now you've got them at kill percent, 207%. Gonna get off lead. Avoid that grab somehow, but the second grab is gonna hit. The Game & Watch ain't gonna kill you with a throw. How are you gonna kill them? Not with that attitude.
Yeah, Curry's doing an amazing job spacing out, using the revenges to their greatest ability. And look at this, now just looking to stop their opponent from getting on. They are freely, it's Game & Watch, it's what you expect. But what you don't expect is the chair to manage to pull that stock. But Dren is at the worst possible scenario and has to look to play basically pixel perfect, though they are managing to get a few more hits in.
The fear factor right now, it's almost palpable. You can smell it in the air. You know Curry can smell it. Drengotter taken down a peg for sure. That is so many points on the board for UT Arlington right off the bat. That's 4 more on top of the 3. That's 7 points. And obviously William and Mary got 2 off of that first game, but this is frankly a little bit unheard of. Like, Curry, that is masterful adaptation right here. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Again, I feel like the first stock, the first couple minutes, was Drengotter playing reactively. And it's hard to do that online, but it's still good. But when you're proactively, when you're approaching with back air after back air after back air, that is where Curry finds their niche. That's where they find the weak spot. And air dodge right there, but still.
Ooh, yeah.
Only getting those little punishes.
Man, and I gotta say, really good, and a good statement, at least, when it comes to Arlington versus William and Mary. I think they really just want to kind of figure out what's going wrong as soon as possible, because, I mean, Curry's already made a statement by losing pretty handily in the first round, and then pretty convincingly, at least, in that last map, taking it in, allowing the points to start seeping in, and they're setting the pace of how the rest of the series is going to be happening. Especially when, you know, it's a character versus Game & Watch and Incineroar. I think we've seen that at least once or twice before, but I don't think as kind of different as that is, because normally, I can't even put my hands on it, but the way that matchup was, I think Curry just had a very good understanding of how they were going in. Now with Outer Rim and Davey coming out, it seems the heavy hitters are prepared to start trying to take the lead again.
Yeah, if anyone's going to clutch this out, it could be Outer Rim, a Robin, and a Byleth, but mostly Robin with pinpoint accuracy and execution most can only dream of. I remember seeing them get quadruple, pentuple, arc fires on heavier characters, and while they're not hitting that same stuff on lighter characters, it's still killing. They're still laddering people up and up and up. The staircase is built from the flames of the arc fire all the way up into the blast zone. It's beautiful. It's a sight to behold. However, you need to have more than just an okay performance. You need to have a godlike performance in order to even this out.
You're absolutely right. While the scorelines may still be relatively close, it's about making it as big of a gap as possible. I really don't think you want to end this off with just winning with one stock both times. You just got to go off. And Outer Rim has always been a player that I think has had amazing resource management when it comes down to the Robin, especially when you're grabbing the items that are being thrown out, using them as just small projectiles for a little bit longer. I think Davey's going to have a small chance, though. Could a reactive playstyle do better than just solely going after the Robin? Well, I know on paper, you know, that doesn't sound right, but hit me with that analytics.
I feel like Robin has the tools to make you approach, while Incineroar really doesn't. That's the thing. Incineroar didn't really have the tools to make you approach. Sure, them getting revenge is very scary and it makes you want to approach to knock it out of them. However, they don't have the pressure to, like, they don't have any tangible pressure. It's more mental, emotional. Meanwhile, Robin, if left to their own devices, will build up all their resources, pepper you with arc fires, get their one combo starter, and then demolish you. And even if you're trying to play safe, it's so hard to avoid, like, say, the mini thunders. Like, those things are pretty much like Greninja uncharged shurikens. They're just flying at you. There's not a ton you can do besides just get peppered by them. It's not pretty. So I don't think playing purely reactive, like I would have liked to see Drengatter do earlier, is going to completely turn things around. And I'm not saying that was the only way to do that. However, like, I feel like that was one adaptation that could have helped Drengatter. I'm not sure how well it'll do against the Robin.
I'm definitely feeling like... Oh, wait, no. Please continue.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I know Davey does like to get in there and brawl. Davey is on the PT with an Aegis pocket pick, too. I don't think they'll need it. But either way, PT does like to get in your face, with the exception of, like, they like to rush you down. And I feel like they do have the tools to get in against Robin.
No, I agree. I think it's just going to be a lot of micromanaging how you're moving and paying attention to your opponent. Outer Rim, I don't think yet has been shown to kind of have those character weaknesses. I think there's a big difference between player and character weaknesses. Obviously, Robin has some, players have some, but I think this is a moment where you may want to go after those character weaknesses to try to take a couple risks if you're a stock up. You can really have those opportunities and work with them, especially if the Robin, say, doesn't have an arc fire up just yet. It is going to be the biggest advantage, well, not the biggest, but it's going to be a very strong advantage for a Robin to have. I mean, we've seen how many options you have to go into a kill confirm with the arc fire. So my idea is you just say, go off the walls, you wait for your opponent, maybe throw in a bit of more shield dance, you know, juke it, hoo ha, and then boom, the moment the arc fire is gone, you just put in that aggression, you waste your opponent's resources, and then you go for it. How does that sound?
I think that is generally not the worst game plan, not at all. However, it's kind of tough to know how these two players are going to interact, because if you've seen even the slowest pace top players, like, a lot of people think, oh, top players play slow, they only know how to camp. No, top players play slow when they're playing up against someone of equal footing, who they have to respect, those options. However, when Outer Rim is up against many of the people in the EGF, no offense to the other EGF players, Outer Rim is just that good. They are able to go in there and be super aggressive. But we don't often get to see Outer Rim against players of this caliber, of UT Arlington caliber. So, I'm curious to see how that's going to go, because we do know, UT Arlington is not untouchable. Mississippi State, they prepared, they trained, and they put UT Arlington in its place. William and Mary, another old member of the old guard for EGF. We'll see if they're able to do the same, if they force Outer Rim into that slower playstyle, or if they're both still going to be rushing at each other.
And, you know, with the button check going out, I honestly, if we just saw the most random strategy, I wouldn't be against it. That's at least the way I play Smash. I think if you go with the least optimal idea, your opponent's going to think that you're, you know, memeing, and then they're going to take you a little less seriously. And then what do Outer Rim do? Outer Rim may hesitate, and hesitation may hurt. You know, I think when going up against player names, especially when you're taking those sections, like, all right, I'm going up against them, they play this character. Can't it be, like, overwhelming at times, especially, like, if you're going up against someone, you're like, wow, I've been so good consistently, but this person is pretty good consistently, meaning that like, I feel sometimes that pressure can kind of hit you, especially with the status that Outer Rim has.
I don't disagree with you at all. When you're just it's almost like imposter syndrome, you know? And let's be real, a lot of Smashers have big egos, and they're well earned in this case. However, when you watch someone and you never see them lose, it can be tough. Like, I think back to some anecdotes I've heard about, like, completely different game, but like watching a matchup and you're trying to find VODs, like, how does my character win this matchup? And you can't find any VODs where your character wins. It's just all losses. Like, I remember early Ultimate, that was something a lot of people were finding in those character discords and whatnot. They're like, I can't really find any good matchups where I can see how to win this thing out. Like, it's tough. Again, a little bit off topic, but it is tough to really know for sure that you're better until you actually play them. And we're finally getting into the game now. Thank you for your patience, everyone, to see how Davey does against Outer Rim. And they're going over to the Aegis for this one.
3, 2, 1.
Pyra and Mithra, a very strong pick, not one that I don't think I initially would have gone off with the first in my head, but as that sentence doesn't make sense, they are already putting pressure, though we see Arc Thunder able to at least give more distance. Outer Rim, though, no longer having to stand in the same spot over and over again, is looking to play forward.
Oh, I like this. I love this, user. You remember what I was saying about how Incineroar doesn't have the tools to pressure you, but Robin does. By going the Aegis, you gain the ability to roll and spot dodge through a lot of, well, pretty much technically all of Robin's pressure. At least when you're on the Mithra.
It's looking like it now, though. Being onto the Pyra, you have that kill ability. And poor Outer Rim is now down a stock. It's just looking to kind of make a change or really get back on the stage. They're having a very big issue when it comes to being caught out in the air, maybe a bird in a different life, but when it comes down to this round, gotta be a bit more cautious. Davey is just looking, even giving time at seconds to build up the Arc Thunder.
Yes, now. In hand. Just trying to find a nice opening. Big Arc Thunder right there. Now time for the edge guard. Ooh, very high recovery right there. The Town and City side platforms are really aiding in that, but that's not a safe side B. That's going to be punished hard by Outer Rim. You're not going to get many chances like that from Davey, so Outer Rim's got to take all of them.
Now, look at that. Being able to use that Prominence Revolt, though Outer Rim is still relatively safe, able to get back on this stage, but at such a high percentage against a Pyra and Mithra is by far the most anxiety-inducing thing I've ever seen, as we see them once again knocked off the stage, using the Arcfire, just trying to make some space in, but is still at this high kill percentage, and is very much struggling to kind of hit these attacks. Eventually, just gonna be able to land a couple, but it's about the consistency that matters here.
Tried to go for the Nosferatu right there, but couldn't quite land it. But as Davey is on Pyra looking for this kill, looking for any sort of stray aerial, this is where Outer Rim is finding a lot of their mileage. And I'm not saying, oh, just play the Mithra better character. But sometimes when Outer Rim zones you out for that long, you've got to consider mixing something up, as now you're back on the Mithra to try and get your opening, but Outer Rim's get you juggled.
Outer Rim is just hoping, it's just yelling at their screen right now of this Pyra and Mithra to fall so they can already go back up to the stock percentage, try to even things up, but it's just being an increasingly difficult task. I mean, just having this speed and then switching to a character who can make up for your lack of damage or kill percentage, you know, means the world, though. Look at that, back here able to make that landing now. You've switched, you're looking for the kill. Davey is still prepared, but I'm loving how they are switching out, making sure to get the best of both worlds and not relying on one too heavily.
And I like this slow pressure. The one thing Aegis does not have is projectiles, and especially when Pyra is on the field, can definitely be exploited by said lack of projectiles. As now, Rapid Jab, give you stage position, but Outer Rim is able to SDI out of that. No Rapid Jab follow-up for you, no stage control. Instead, Outer Rim is able to get a little bit of a reversal, knocking you out of that side B. Now Outer Rim, with the right setup, could get a kill right here, and they're able to get back on stage by throwing the book at you.
I mean, they're both still having to respect each other immensely, but Outer Rim has changed! The air is tense, and Outer Rim clutches it out! The wet one stock, it was much better than losing.
That was beautiful right there. Outer Rim needed one opportunity, one chance to seize the day, carpe diem, as they get the one, and then they charge, stall in the air, and then another. Beautiful. Beautiful right there, because before they weren't juggling so much, like they weren't chasing them into the sky. They were waiting for Davey to fall back down to them and then getting a punish. Same thing was not happening a lot of the time, and oof. You always forget how much range Pyra's sword has, but either way. Like, when Davey was juggling, it felt like almost watching someone like sweep something with a broom. Like they're just like thwapping you up into the air. When Outer Rim is juggling, it's like they're hitting a volleyball up and down. They hit you up, they wait, they watch your trajectory, and then they bump you again.
That is a really good way to put it, but I think the thing I'm more paying attention to is at what point did Outer Rim figure out the matchup and what to go with? I don't think it was entirely noticeable. I think throughout the entire match, you know, like if we go to the Incineroar, second round, boom, instantly adapted. But now, you know, you gotta look to see how does Outer Rim bring that energy back into this round. Already being thrown onto the edge is not the best way to be playing the game. As we see Davey just looking to try to just take no damage, but I mean, this is Smash at a good level. You're never going to be in that scenario, but Outer Rim is still being forced onto this edge, playing a very unfavorable game right now.
Yes. Davey playing a lot closer to the ground this time, not overcommitting to these juggles, which I like. Aegis is a character who just keeps you in disadvantage. Not a lot of true combos, but they will just keep, like I said, it's like a newspaper, just flop, flop, flop. They're just constantly smacking you with that sword until the Pyra comes out. Then it's a big baseball bat as there. The percents are even out a little bit. You're still technically in kill percents with the right setup. Outer Rim is very aware of that. Prominence Revolt not going to kill though, thanks to that Nosferatu.
I think it just matters that you're delaying that opportunity of your opponent to kill you. Unfortunately, you do not have your ability to get it until the last possible second. There's nothing worse to bring a sweat to your eye. And, well, Davey's going to be able to get that kill confirmed. So now, Outer Rim, what do you do against it? You're going to go back to forcing your opponent in the air. You're going to be looking to spike. No, you're going to let them get on. You're going to back throw them. And the moment that they get a little bit safe, you'll try to kill them with the Arc Thunder. But the Arc Fire may be what you're preferring, besides from just your good old sword.
Fair whiff in the scramble right there from Outer Rim, but they're still able to clean up the stock regardless, and now they go for a aggressive command grab, but now they're stuck above Mythra. How do you land? How do you find your way down? Mythra's not going to kill you right there, but Pyra might, as, oh, I like that, going right back to the Mythra, because you need that defense, you need that ability to land if you do get caught up in the air. With the landing nair, the fast fall, Mythra is a lot better at getting down.
So the Mythra doesn't really care about getting down too much when they just stay on the map. We already see, look at that, the Pyra now has control over this game, is not able to stop them from getting back on, but with a simple grab, knowing the spacing, they're able to do it. But look at that, as you said, similar to the Greninja Shurikens, able to just simply knock you out. Unfortunately, what term do you even call that? Because that was just a good way to kill your opponent.
I think that's just get over here. Like, I'm not done with you yet. I don't know if there's an actual term for it. What I do know is that Outer Rim is able to get a counter hit right there, and ooh, a nice reversal right there. Now Davey, even though they're being juggled, they still have a little bit of stage control, but a good bit of projectile manipulation, throwing out that sword and then immediately throwing out the Arc Thunder as well.
Those moments that really make Outer Rim shine, and now they've been going stock per stock. Even if Robin, you can say, doesn't have the speed of Mythra or the strength of Pyra, best of both worlds, as we see the side B go in, being able to throw in that Arc Fire is going to just get back on. And my goodness, how does this get even more intense the closer they get? Though Davey is forcing them into the air and Outer Rim is struggling to get back on, the platforms are going to be the savior.
It is finding these kills where Davey has struggled and Outer Rim has thrived, but you're able to get that side B now. Where do you go? Shielding through that ledge pressure, and the kill, gonna catch them, cleaving straight through them, and that is going to be Davey evening up the set, 1-1.
I gotta say, good performance, managed to clutch it out in their own right, though Outer Rim may have just been a little bit too easy to read. They seem to have gotten a sense of when Outer Rim was going to get back onto the stage or what they were going to do. We saw them for a good percentage, and this is an example. Shaw the Shield immediately just kicks you off and then just goes for the confirm. Very 1-2 strategy based, but Outer Rim still managed to keep this as even as possible.
Yeah, but honestly, beautiful stuff right there, and I don't mind that at all. Retaking stage position instead of trying to commit to a punish, because if you're just mashing buttons to try and get a punish right there, you could get, well, reversaled yourself. So Outer Rim just took stage position back there, and we're ready with the jump, and there, again, Davey followed them all the way out. It's really just a case of knowing when you can press your advantage and when you have to pull back. Both these players have a lot of awareness with that, and the question is less when do they get the openings and how far are they able to take them. How far are you able to push that advantage, get those openings, and then set yourself up for victory with a percentage lead that leads to a kill.
Now, with an 8-3, William and Mary are going to be looking to try to take this, I would say, just in their victory. Right now, don't put pressure onto yourself by trying to get as many stocks as possible in your own favor. I think right now we both know that they are going head-to-head and making sure that any type of advantage is there is just taken out. It's back to the neutral, and both of these players are either fighting equally or one is below the other. There is no above anymore. As we see, the same matchup, the same game, but a different stage. PS2, how does this look for them?
I mean, very even right here. Not going to get those massive ladders, but you don't really need them. It's going to be all... Honestly, the thing I've been focusing a lot on is the ledge interactions and the juggles, or just side Bs. Side Bs also work, as you're able to stack on a nice, decent bit of percent, because there's no way you'd go for another side B. Hold on, Davey. What are you doing? Davey, no!
They're having some fun, I guess, you know, a little bit of trolling and just juking around. Though they're back onto the ground, we see the back throw there. Arcfire's not going to be able to stop them from getting on, but at least Davey is freely able to say you don't even have a chance to charge your Arc Thunder. They are, though, spending a bit more time just looking for spacing.
Yeah, trying to take that stage control from under the platform. Under this platform is where you love to be, only leaving it when you think you have an opening, like Outer Rim did there. Unfortunately, Davey was just a little too fast, a little too quick, as now they're trying to come down with the landing. Outer Rim not overcommitting with this spacing, knowing that one little bit of misspacing could be their doom, so they're trying to just space outside of Davey's larger disjoint range.
Something a little different from Outer Rim. Uses their recovery, manages to help knock them off, and then goes for the confirm. Now Davey is angry, going over straight to that Pyra, though they get hit with the Arc Thunder. Look at that. Did they just knock the Arc Fire back?
No. Just slicing right through it. A lot of projectiles can be beaten out by disjointed aerials like that, as now charging up that Arc Thunder again. A nice juggle setup right here, trying to find that up air, but Outer Rim's drift has always been good enough to avoid the actual up air. However, when they drift too far out, Davey is getting a hard read on them.
Up now, look at this, as we see them pushing out. Outer Rim goes back to the side of the stage. It's basically saying, come over to me at your percentage, I'm going to kill you. Though did have a moment where they miss out, they're still playing the same way that they want to, and honestly, I respect Outer Rim for consistency. Knocking Davey off that side, throws the Arc Fire, stopping that side B from being possible. Now Davey's the one who's actually spending their time off the stage, though they do manage to grab the sword, not even gonna try to risk using it. Outer Rim is still gaining back control, playing on the side of the stage.
Back right there to finish them off. Outer Rim with a stock up, but we've seen Davey take stocks in an instant too. Could this be it, this edge guard situation? No. Goes for that up B and the scoop, not quite there. That's good.
Just looking nice. You're looking for the room. You have the damage now. Looking for that kill confirm, but look at that. Freely able to get back on. Not even going to let you, and even steal a tiny bit of health. That may not matter in the long term, but for right now, it's going to help. Until that grab manages to knock you down. Arc Fire grab. Now going to be throwing back into the air. Davey may not be happy, but is freely able to get back on. Hilo, one mistake, that's all each player needs.
Yeah, as now on the Mithra, you don't have a lot of strong kill options in this specific scenario. So you switch to Pyra, land with the Nair. Now you got Outer Rim above you. Now you need one mistake, one straight aerial, and you have this win. Because they go for the Prominence Revolt, but Outer Rim not in position to punish it. The parry gives them the instant F-tilt, dead even percents right now. And then the spike right there. Outer Rim is able to keep things, is spiked as Davey keeps things alive.
For a character like Pyra and Mithra, 0 to 100 is basically the name of the game, but against a player like Outer Rim, throwing you off the stage and not allowing you back has always just seemed their favorite way to play. But we see the switch over to the Mithra. Well, no, yeah, Mithra coming right back in, but the back air, if I remember correctly, will always manage to take you out as William and Mary. They're going to be sending out their Shining Star to help put this more in a safer bet.
That's good to see. That's good to see indeed if you are William and Mary. After the way that first game went, with so many points stacked up for UT Arlington, you've got to be scared. So Outer Rim making things look a lot more winnable going into this third game, William and Mary. Not out of this yet.
I gotta say, once again, another performance. When going into the third round, you have to wonder, who do you choose? I feel... You know, you can have the option to send out more heavy hitters, or do you go with someone just a little bit more even and, well, trust in them?
Well, I really do think right here, this was even Steven. The way these two swung back and forth, this was one of the most balanced matchups I've seen in a while. And you remember what I was saying before? Hold on. Can we run through that one more time? I just need to see that micro spacing. I didn't get to catch this. Look at this. Barely avoids them. Davies just a little bit below. Lands. Oh, pixels away. Goes for the back air, but they also just whiff. They're both trying to get the perfect spacing. Tries to read a jump, but it's Outer Rim who counter reads their read and gets the back air. That was beautiful stuff right there. Oh, thanks for the rewind, Devin.
My goodness. Thank goodness dyslexia runs in my family, because I could never see that straight without the replay. Now, though, that was still a really good moment, solely to knock them out. But I'm going to be really excited to see who the possibility is for the third match. They are just going to take a second to make sure everything's working out before they even send out the players. But we have hypotheticals. I always like to play the mystery game. And when it's an 8-6, what is the best possible opportunity for William and Mary to kind of bring it back? Is it just take those 3 stocks by sending in someone who you have great strength in, similar to Outer Rim?
Well, here's the thing. I really do think... I remember before the set, I made the mistake of saying something like, yeah, Outer Rim needs to pop off. And I think that is a terrible mindset, in retrospect, to go for. Because as long as you just win, handedly win, 1 stock left, twice, you have the lead again. And I feel like doing that is a lot more sustainable than being like, I have to get a 3 stock, I have to get a 3 stock, I have to get a 3 stock.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go for that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. And I think it's just going to matter more to see how they crack their knuckles and try to figure this out. But, Kilo, you've got the list of the players, right? You've got the whole script out.
Yeah.
Alright, let's say, if there was a player you would want to see right now, who would it be?
Well, there is a player we saw last week for the first time from UT Arlington, Phenom. And they are a Fox player. And after seeing an electrifying Fox earlier tonight, and also seeing an electrifying Fox at Smash Ultimate Summit 4, I'll be honest, I'm in a Fox mood. Even online, even playing with such great distance between them, so Phenom's probably not going to come out. I would love to see it again. I have right here, written next to Phenom, they've got crazy juggles and they're a comeback god. And we just saw juggles being the name of the game during that Outer Rim versus Davey set. So I would love to see that. I would love to see more juggles, more aerial play like that. That would be very pleasant to see, in my opinion. other characters while we get all of these technical issues set up. Now, from William and Mary, who don't they have? Ton of beautiful players. I feel like Outer Rim is definitely one of the most well-known. One of my personal favorites, honestly, is Luco the Sephiroth. Luco comes in and puts on a show every time. And also, when they talk in comms sometimes, I vibe with that. But, either way, it is going to be BFD coming in next. Now, BFD running the Steve, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Now that, after how many good Steves we have been seeing as of late, I'm scared, I won't lie.
I gotta tell you, you know, I had a dream a couple days ago. I was sleeping, resting in my bed, and Steve just came in, put a block over me, started mining, mine-carted below me, and for some reason, you know, just absolutely... I think it's the versatility to Steve has just always been a terrifying factor for me. But these players, I mean, what is the scariest memory that you have seen from them? Because I can't put a point with how talented some of them are.
The scariest thing for Steve, for me, is their ability to ledge trap. Because sometimes you see... It's like... You know what it's like when you see Steve set up some complex contraption at the ledge? You know those chess trials where, like, it puts you in a seemingly random board and you need to find the one right move that you can make. There is one optimal move you can make in this set, in this chessboard, in this setup, in this configuration. That's what it feels like. Steve's ledge traps, they are not usually cover-all. There is one right move you have to make, and it comes down to the perfect drift, the perfect movement, the perfect timing. You've just got to find it. You've just got to find that one right move. Steve has the versatility to make you choose a different option, a different right move every single time. It's like chess.com's random trials. That is the most terrifying thing about Steve for me, because you lose, and it's not like you're like, got him, GG's, I guess that was just it. They had me ledge trapped, it was over. No, you're like, if I had just delayed my neutral get up by a quarter of a second, I would have lived that. And you've got to let that, you can't let that, you got to let that roll off of you like water off a duck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but then the question goes to my mind is, why not go to a character who is, like, extremely good at zoning? I feel that's also just one of Steve's small to big issues that can happen out. Closing that distance isn't going to be the problem, but I think it's just the insistent spam and, you know, zoning that tends to work against the Steve. Why not just kind of go in against the rock, paper, scissors?
well, I do feel like Steve does sometimes struggle more with people, like, choking them out. And it really depends on how you want to do that. Some people like to go more rush down. Some people, personally, one of my favorite counter picks to Steve is Mario, just because the ability to pressure from a distance with Fireball, and then once you get in, you can get a huge combo and or kill, depending on where they're positioned at the stage, and if they're underneath a platform, well, you can get some big damage. However, we're not going to see that. It is going to be Beastly coming in, and they're running the Ness. Now, Ness, I can't claim to know where on the matchup chart they fall against them. I know their disjoints aren't as big as Steve, but the strength they have is the ability to harass from a distance with a combo starter with PK Fire. And additionally, they can actually harass offstage with PK Thunder a lot, messing with Steve's recovery with the yo-yo. We've seen some good stuff from this. I'd imagine it's pretty even. I'm curious to see how it'll play out after this button check is finishing up now.
I'm the type of guy who likes to say the first thing off of their head, and more than anything, I like just saying things that often cause for questioning. But for once, I think I have to just be a little honest here. I think the Steve, on paper, has a disadvantage against Ness, but player versus player-wise, this is fairly going to be even. I can't see a moment where we'll see Steve not find those rooms. I think just having the ability to place blocks and such, and you're not always used to that matchup. I think it's going to be, at least for the first round, pretty even. Second round, though, that will be what all the knowledge will be mattering to.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. As we've seen, adaptation is a huge theme in these matchups. Very swingy, sometimes very extreme swings back and forth, sometimes very minor ones, as we saw in Outer Rim versus Davey. So we'll have to see how it plays out here. It's going to be the Steve versus the Ness, and very clear what they want. Give Diamond.
Oh, I respect it. You're playing the zombie because in the end you are alive. But wait, they're not going mining. They're not going mining, Kilo.
They put them in a block, and then BFD, well, Ness is out for revenge. You think you entomb Ness? Nah. I'm putting you in the blast zone, son, as they're finally able to get onto the stage again. But after that one slightly odd interaction to start out, BFD has barely been able to get a hit in, falling through the platform with the up air, and then destroying that crafting table just for boot, just to keep warmed up. And the glide mechanics, oh my god, beautiful mix-up on that recovery right there. You could tell Beastly was confused by that unidentified flying zombie.
Yep, and look at that. Gonna be even more confused on the fact that their opponent is still alive. Bringing that crafting table is gonna give you a lot more opportunities, but BFD hasn't had a single chance to go mining or get a very valuable resource. Maybe a little bit of iron and stone. Now gonna be having the iron reset. It's not working as well as they're hoping to, though the minecarts are able to at least make those distance. It's the PK Fire just throwing in. They do have the wall, but look at that, the PK Fire breaks it out.
Yeah, and now you're trapped in the corner, unable to mine, but you're able to get a couple more resources on the board. Your name of the game right now is trying to build up a wealth of resources to use against Ness, but I feel like the name of the game 1.5 is, how do you get on stage to do that when Ness is constantly approaching like, well, a zombie, slowly approaching, never stopping, with constant barrage hitboxes, the arms just held out in front of you, you're like, zombie.
Yes, but the diamond has been found. It's what they've been looking for. The question is BFD going to even have an opportunity to get it, or will they have to try in their next stop? Really think it's a risk no matter what, especially Beastly is entirely insane with using the down special.
Yeah, it's... the way they're using this PK Magnet is a work of art as the spike comes out, but hey, you're not going to get that immediate up smash, not at this percent, but you know they wanted that so bad. Now, how do you get this opening here? I mean, at this point, you might just GG go next, but we've seen Steve get some crazy comebacks with Diamond.
In the end, it's just looking to hit those simple combos, throwing your opponent off with the pickaxe, placing that block, and just juggling them all around. That's what I've always liked watching BFD for. What I don't like is the fact that BFD doesn't have any iron, and those diamonds don't last forever, so having to use them very sparingly. And now back off on the stage, Beastly has started to adapt and knows how it works. You almost confirm it.
Yeah, this right here, okay, back air gonna finish it off. That almost seemed inevitable right there. BFD gonna be sent back to the drawing board, and I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's so dominant, because we've seen some crazier stuff coming back from that. Now let's take a look at these replays. Oh, they were out of iron right there. No mix-ups. When Steve has no iron, they have no mix-ups. Some of the worst aerial drift and worst initial dash in the game. They can't really move around without the burst tools that are Anvil and Minecart. So if you take those away, there's not a ton you can get. Oh god, the way they confirm off of these magnets. They hit one magnet and they're going into a kill move.
I mean, Beastly just came in with living up to the name of that energy. And honestly, I gotta say, is starting to put that momentum. I said on paper they were working pretty good, but how would you feel now getting a moment to see them work off, especially with BFD basically being oppressed, not allowed to go mining at all?
Yeah, I really feel like that was one of the main factors. I mean, we actually saw right off the bat, they tried to go mining. They set up their classic configuration. They like that little J shape. That's their ideal safe enclave. The first time they tried to do it, they accidentally footstooled them or I'm sorry, all footstools are intentional. So they intentionally footstooled them and trapped them in a block. And that sort of confusing interaction meant they didn't get to start mining. It meant that Davey was right on top of them the entire time for that first stock. And they've never really stopped breathing down their neck.
And, I mean, what does the Steve look to do? Is it just box yourself in once more? Maybe try to glitch the nest right back into the dirt block as we saw very early on? You know, is it maybe he's trying to go for some exploits?
I mean, Ness has got a lot of PSI powers. I'm not sure No Clip is one of them, but hey, I'm not really sure that is exactly what you want to do. I'm trying to think. Like, obviously, it's easy for me to say, stick to Steve's game plan, get more iron. I feel like what you need to do is optimize those punishes a little more, because they weren't really getting any real chains going. Like, they were getting like 3-hit combos, but you need to at least be getting some forward air extensions. Otherwise, if you're trying to win off of fundamentals alone, then that's not really going to work out in your favor.
Then I guess it really will just go down to who's ready to go above and beyond. With the map being town and the players just taking a second for that button check, I'm excited. Arlington still takes the lead though. It's 10-6, and it's not going to be the worst type thing, but it is getting closer and closer to that point where you have to look at William and Mary and think, what is that win opportunity that you have? I think right now, winning with 2 stocks is by far the best option, but I think just winning is what you're looking for.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to try and put too much pressure on yourself. You've got plenty of opportunity to come on back. So we'll see. What's the counter pick here? Where are they taking us? Where in the world? Cannon City. Cannon City. Okay, so you want more space, and you want to be able to kill up the side a little easier. Maybe. Honestly, not too bad. I mean, any stage is still just a place where you are held off stage if you can't get past these disjointed areas, as they're immediately trying to mine a little more this game.
Able to land that nest into the minecart for a little helps to lead into the magma cube. That damage is going to help in the long term. However, look at this. With having no more platforms, you gotta wonder, how am I gonna go get resources? It's not nighttime, but yet Beastly is the monster looking to stop you from getting any of your resources. Looks to seem that you want to work with that wooden weapon, being able to get back on the stage. But the yo-yo goes through the dirt. You have to respect it.
At the moment right now, BFD struggling to get off this ledge, but that's a nice spike, and they're able to get the air dodge read right afterwards. That gives them space and time to keep up the pressure, gather more resources as they just try and put some distance between Beastly and them. Minecart at a disadvantage, they're able to get the stock lead for the first time.
Hey, that's what's going to be looking good. BFD may be finding something to work until Beastly says, sorry, forgot to take the stock with me, but that's pretty neat.
As now, BFD kind of untouched, but again, that's all you need. Just one back air to set up. It's getting the Nair out of there. Not going for any crazy extensions right now. You're just looking for, I mean, as much damage as you can get, and you're out of the combo range, both of them. Now you're into the confirm range. We're looking to see oh, they're just like tunneling. They're strip mining through that. They just want those wood blocks out of there.
I'm honestly, they gave BFD more than enough opportunity to build up to the diamond, but the question is, does BFD? No, doesn't really want to go for it. May just be relying onto that last stock as a way to bring it back, but knocked off the edge. BFD has those invincibility frames, is going to be able to land it. Now Beastly is the one who's in danger if they do not keep up the pressure. The resources are still there. I mean, just look at the wood percentage. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that wood percentage, yeah, it gives them a lot of building potential, and that means no iron. They have barely any mix-ups, but enough to escape disadvantage if Beastly were to start comboing them again or juggling them, as now you've got to find this one kill. One up tilt could maybe set up, but instead they're just going for this F smash, which, again, I don't blame them for. I would love to see a couple more, like, again, just something to work on. I think I would love to see a lot of like traps. I feel like the game plan is very streamlined and it's a good game plan, but Beastly doesn't have to like think too hard to approach. They just go in with the back air, and you're playing a standard character. Steve is not a standard character, and Beastly is able to adapt to that more standardized playstyle based around fundamentals that was working for the initial parts, but ultimately Beastly was able to get the edge slowly but surely.
It was just Beastly taking a second and then realizing everything that they should have done. I gotta say though, an experience to have nonetheless. I think Beastly has benefited from this greatly. Same with BFD. That's a matchup that I don't think you're very used to, and well, now you're gonna know what you want to do when it comes down to the next point. But Arlington, they are now in a considerable lead due to Beastly's own, ability to work off. So now in the 4th round, what do we see? Well, especially when it comes down to the possible players, we know that Army Oil is coming out.
Yeah, Army Ali is going to be coming out, and that is the captain. That is the finisher right here. William and Mary, with these last 2 games, have an opportunity to sort of reverse sweep. However, it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the word. So you want to at least put a couple more points on the board and make it impossible, not just hard. And that's what Army Ali aims to do. Now, here's the thing. Army Ali, they are happy to fight the war of attrition 9 days out of the week. 7. As they are going to be just chipping away at the Pikmin, with the Pikmin. Jeez. Oh man, I didn't know how to stop running my lips so much. I don't know how to think.
Well, I think it's just that these matches, they haven't been going by fast, but they've been going by decently tough. And honestly, that's the only thing on my mind. It's a lot of focus of what I'm paying attention to. So when North is kind of coming in, how does that matchup look? Because my information on North is a little bit of lackluster.
Now, North is on this Wii Fit trainer against the Pikmin. This could be interesting. What I need to see right away is, do the Pikmin hit back the header? Because if you can win in that projectile war, Olimar might just run away with this. But if it's a little more even, if the header just bounces off the Pikmin and harmlessly goes up, then you're doing a little bit better. But if you're able to actually turn North's main sniping tool, main projectile tool against them, then you might have some trouble. Main thing you've got to deal with, again, also, is you have to find ways to rid yourself of these Pikmin when they stick on you. I'm trying to think, what does North have? They've got the Nair, that's a nice multi-hit to get Pikmin off of you. And I think their up B will too, if they ever have to use that off stage. But either way, all the self-healing in the world is not going to mitigate how much chip damage you have here. So once you have that chip damage on you, what you've got to do is avoid the kill.
But I feel that's way more easier said than done. And that's the part that makes me highly anxious, with both players looking like they really just want to take a quick R&R, and the next map being onto PS2. At least they'll have a pretty even matchup. Nothing too much to focus on.
Yeah, alright, let me think about how this is going to play out. So, Olimar is a tricky matchup for anyone, and North is going to they have to have studied. They have to have. William and Mary are looking too prepared to have not studied at least a little bit, but there's one thing about watching Olimar and another thing about playing them. You have to get used to the fact that it is a constantly mounting pressure that is it's like putting up a dam, and there's always going to be more percentage, more damage, more water building up behind that dam, and you've got to find ways to, well, this was a bad analogy because you can't really fight the water. You have to fight what's causing it. You have to get rid of the Olimar as quickly as you can and not let any of those major cracks. If you, the metaphor has been lost. Players, please stop taking the R&R breaks. I am trying to find... Yeah, but either way. Let's take a brief moment to just take a look. They are at 6-14. In order to win right now, they would, if they got a double 3-stock, that would put them at 12. So not unwinnable, but Will and Mary, they don't just have to beat Army Ali, a ranked player in Texas, playing the game for like 10 years, and also the captain. They don't just have to beat them like with 1 stock. They have to beat Army Ali with minimum 2 stocks. Like, they can get 1 2-stock and 1 1-stock, but you're putting a lot of pressure on your anchor, and you don't know what else UT Arlington has up their sleeves. So you want to get yourself in the lead here as best you can.
Well, they've listened to you well. They've decided to go in. Alamar versus the Wii Fit trainer. I love watching this Alamar play. It just always feels special knowing that Alamar is throwing these possibly sentient creatures at an opponent and a fitness trainer one at that. So, you know, take it as you will. We do see North just trying to just not move around, but get away from the Pikmin. Every time they just get onto the ground or even try to set up a move, they just get flinged.
How do they have double purple so early on? I don't know as much about Alamar as I thought, but this gives them such a great approach tool, because you can just sort of literally, not juggle as in keep them in the air, but juggle the Pikmin as you just cycle them in and out as you use them to take space consecutively. North is not going to love that, but North doesn't really have to contest with it that much. They're going to eat a little bit of purple damage every now and then, but they've just eliminated both purples with 2 well-placed projectiles. And now, even though they've got a little bit of percentage stacked up in them, I was right. You use that Nair to clear off those Pikmin very fast.
It's what matters. Stopping out those Pikmin is going to just make Alamar as a character a little bit weaker, or immensely, depending on how you really want to phrase it. But they both have yet to take this stock, trying to just make that distance. Poor North has to use that soccer ball just to try to bake it. Unfortunately, it still leads into their own death. Look at that. I believe that's a blue and 2 purples once again. Well, now 1 purple as it's been taken out.
Yeah, Army Ali already has the advantage. They already got this stacking on. And here's the thing. You're perfectly happy to play this range game. Wii Fit isn't really going to kill you from long range. They will kill you when you get within jab range and get buried and F-smashed. However, again, that's the thing. Alamar can pretty much combo you from across the stage based on just the passive damage that the Pikmin provide.
But North is just trying to do their best to make that they just got hit by their own soccer ball, if I'm not mistaken. And that's, just something I'm not used to seeing, though. Look at this. He's almost changing up how they want to go. Moving in forward, gets kicked down, but is able to do the same right back at you. Though North having that shield means they're going to be a little safe. Having the 2 purples, it's just been the name of the game, the RNG on their side. North is getting a bit more hit.
I think the space and the reset rate of the Pikmin, because every time a Pikmin trades with a projectile, you're losing that Pikmin. I feel like that is why Army Ali always has those purples online. I don't know exactly enough about the Alamar meta to say that for certain, but I can tell you they have double purple. They have this space-taking tool more often than I have ever seen them. And I feel like that's just because of the space that North is giving them and the ability to reset their Pikmin every single time they throw out a projectile.
Yeah, but now they have a blue. We know what never mind, they threw it off the stage. It's not going to be feeling too great. That grab could have been powerful. But Army's going to get back on. North still looking to take them out. It's the bright side of every room, but look at this. You leave yourself a little bit too open, get those healing. What did you say early on? Those passive healings is only going to do so much?
Yeah, it's not enough. However, despite all of this chip damage, everything, it is still dead even right now with Deep Breathing online. Where did that header come from? I don't even know, but it somehow knocks Army Ali in the back of the head, and now they're able to start trying to make their way in. Percentage stacking up. Armiala is going to need a little bit more than that. But remember what I said, space-taking tool. They boxed North into the corner. Weefit loves to be in the corner, of course, but Olimar has a unique ability to pressure them very hard there as Double Purple once again taking this platform away, but they're not doing enough damage to make up with the projectiles they're eating. The trades are not even in terms of percent, as Armiala is already at 115%. This could be good right now for North. North actually playing this amazingly, even though for every inch that Armiala takes, they take at least 15%, and based on my math, not a great trade.
Don't need to be an accountant to understand that you are losing those values in trades. And the soccer ball!
Oh, yeah.
That caught me.
Feel the stretch through your arm and leg.
That matchup didn't go exactly how I thought it would, and I feel like it was because of North's amazing prioritization with avoiding being set up. Oh, God, that went so low. That went so low. It almost looked like it clipped through the corner right there. But either way.
No, I've been hitting the face with soccer balls.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh. It did.
Bum, bum, bum.
It did for like a second. Look. Wait, no.
Nah. We live in a three-dimensional world right here, user. And look at that little ledge, the lip of the stage. That's all you need to get that low angle, perfectly spaced, perfectly aligned on that soccer field. It's more than likely, knowing the caliber of these players, they're using the lines on the Pokemon Stadium to line up exactly where that header needs to be. I mean, that's the kind of stuff these players do at this level, user.
I don't think I'm ready for this level then. I think that these players and their willingness to just do things like that is something I am not entirely comfortable with. It just makes my heart start beating so fast, I feel as if I'm gonna have a heart attack. So, hopefully in the second matchup, they don't do the same thing. But these players, they have never been one to listen to the casters, and they will continue to just make these performances ones to remember.
Yeah, and that is one thing to always remember. Disclaimer, the players usually know more about their own characters than the casters. We don't hide that. We're just trying to convey we're trying to show off how good these players are. Even if we don't fully understand it, I know a good play when I see one. And right here, been a lot of good plays. And honestly, this is a lot of good strategy in my eyes. Like, again, look at this. The reset rate on this Pikmin. They have gone through like 6 different Pikmin already, and that gives them the luxury of having 2 purples right away. Do you know how long it usually takes to get that set up online? Like, at least, well, way longer than 30 seconds, I'll tell you that much.
But, I mean, it seems that Army, playing maybe just the online Smash game is just working out to great degrees. Having that training, they were born in the lag, as I'd like to say, but they're both most likely wired, so it's not too much to worry about. As we see, the blue is going to fall. The purples are still there, but the white has now been brought through. North is still keeping their distance.
And what you've got to watch here, what I didn't watch as carefully before, is the percent. Because even though the purple does have a hitbox, it doesn't do as much damage as, say, having a red hanging out on top of you, smacking away at you as you get smacked up right there. The percentage just doesn't add up. Even though you're stacking on some, you need more than that. You want those whites to stick on. I think the whites do the most damage. I'd have to check on that. Maybe check with my producer. But yeah. Yeah, the white does so much.
Well, I'm not too surprised. Now, it's more of just North trying to get back on this. Oh, that was payback from last round.
That is what the purples are for. You use the whites, you use some of the others to stack up percentage, and then you use the purples to finish them off stage, contesting them where Olimar dare not venture.
Now, they've returned back into this game of cat and mouse, throwing their projectiles at each other until North is able to find that complete movement, but almost gets hit like the Pikachu just with that little bit of lightning. Army is going to be able to return now, but I'm loving... tell me, how much are you liking just the fact that North is giving up that distance, even if Olimar is able to throw in the purple Pikmin?
Now, I'm not actually sure how much I like this. I do like that up smash, though. That's the first time I've seen North get antsy and run out of this corner with an up smash like that. That's honestly a little uncharacteristic of them based on what we've seen so far. But those mix-ups may be crucial if Army Ali seems to be getting the edge. You can't let him grow complacent. You've got to make him think twice, because that's how you get stocks like that.
Yep,
Look at that. Look at the white stacked on them. That was like a full combo right there. That is what you need to be seeing. As you stack on a little more damage. But look at this constant pressure. Army is right on top of them now. North is unable to rid them. It's like Olimar themselves is a Pikmin thwacking away at them.
Army just doesn't want a chance. Well, to North to get as more damage, and before the stock reset, only 36.8. That's good. Now it's still back to this close spot. We're seeing the Fire Pigment. The damage is starting to stack. The blue even thrown in over North. The healing is just not enough to get away from this damage.
Not enough at all. And now the space taking tools, like I said, the fact that you can just cycle purple after purple after purple, it's just a constant non-stop barrage, way faster than Wii Fit can throw out projectiles. It lets you control the stage completely, and even though it's not a ton of percent, once you're able to get in, you're able to get the juggle going. That's where you get the percent from your aerials, not from the throws.
Now, go. Ooh! Ooh. Wasn't either, though. That was just a clean old on the ground smack as the Wii Fit trainer manages to make the difference, take the victory against the Olimar.
Yeah, and that was some nice stuff right there. Calling out those aggressive options, knowing that you're fine to throw out that tomahawk forward tilt. It's possible Army Ali, again, and like many Olimars, someone's on top of you, throw out that up smash. It's still incredibly safe, a really good get off me tool. However, when you know it's coming, you can throw out a fast move like a tomahawk forward tilt right that, call it out, and get a huge punish. But that is the kind of all-stage kills we would love to see right there. And again, this was all so close. North going to put them up to 9 points, so I miscalculated a little bit. Not nearly as unwinnable as I thought it would be. However, you still need to get a clean win here to set yourself up for victory if you are William and Mary. So who do they have in their back pocket? That is the question. I do love the reversal right there. Army Ali tried to go for the juggle right there. They couldn't quite figure it out, and it was actually North who took the advantage. And then Army Ali trying to land after being knocked up into the air. Nope. It was North ready to cover that.
It's not. I think sometimes we just forget that these players defy the odds more often than not. But let's say, how winnable is this? Let's say back comes to worst, one stock for one team, one stock for the other, and they meet in that third.
Okay, so
William and Mary still have a good chance, right?
You need at least to tie. So if you win with one stock left both times, you go to a tie. You go to an overtime match, and honestly, from the win rate that we've been seeing, I'm thinking William and Mary, no, I'm thinking UT Arlington could take that tiebreaker, but it's down to the wire then. What would be better is you get 5 points on the board here if you're William and Mary. However, like you just said, let's say UT Arlington open this up, I don't know, with a 2 stock. Even if you get an amazing performance afterwards, it needs to be extra amazing, cherry on top, because otherwise those 2 points are going to hurt so much. So this first game is especially pivotal. It sets the tone for what you are playing for.
Yep, and it seems that even for the last match, they are not going to take it easily. They are deciding who they want to go in, and this is by far the most important thing. What players are left that could kind of lead in a dominant fashion that you think?
Yeah, I'm taking a look right now. I'm not sure who you would want the most. I mean, a lot of heavy hitters. You've got Phenom still on the deck for UT Arlington. You also have Smoke, but honestly, I like Phenom as a clutch player a little bit more because, again, I have seen Phenom make some ludicrous comebacks in the past, and that is what you need. Pikachu obviously very capable of making the comebacks, but I have Clutch God written next to Phenom's name for a reason. and it's going to be Claytron coming in. That's most likely going to be the Mewtwo coming out from William and Mary.
I mean, the Mewtwo has been, at least for William and Mary, a very strong pick. They've gotten a lot done with it, and, well, it doesn't have the worst way to get back onto the stage. I think it is a pretty fair option to throw in for your last pick. You made me scared when you talked about a option, someone who could break the distance, especially when it comes down to the clutch factor. How important is that for the last one, especially Arlington have chosen their last player?
It is going to be Phenom. Okay. This is going to be scrappy. This is going to be very scrappy because both these characters are going to get in, and I feel like this game for Claytron will be one off stage. Mewtwo has disjoints, can go off stage, can maybe get some edge guards. However, you don't want to overcommit to go off stage. Even when you have a good edge guarding game, there are very few characters where it's preferable to go off stage rather than ledge trap, at least until you get a hard read on what their off stage option, what their preferred option is.
Make a good point. It's not going to be going the distance. They will be getting that button check, but honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised. Of all the maps we see going out, PS2 will continue to be the one that they favor. It's just been that bread and butter. It stays neutral, and it sets the pace going in. But how do you feel this matchup is going to look? Not in who's going to win necessarily, but based on characters, especially the players and their past experiences that we have on them, who at least is going to have an edge in the first round?
Alright, so I feel like right off the bat, you've got to be cautious about, like coming out ahead, that is tough. Again, at this level, it's all player to player. I feel like Mewtwo is uniquely fit to land after the after those up air chains. The thing about Mewtwo is a lot of Mewtwo's will straight up use up B as a movement tool. Additionally, it's sometimes hard for people to track where the air dodge is going because of the unique animation in which it goes invisible. I mean, way better than Smash 4, in which you could just blink in and out of reality just like that, but still, it's tough. It's tougher, especially in an online environment, to perfectly react to where Mewtwo is going to be. So one of Fox's main damage racking up tools is taken away. However, the slightest bit of misspacing is going to lead Fox to get huge setups, and we're going to see how this play in, because I think I just heard the game starting. No, I did not.
Yeah, just more of them. I think we're starting to hear things, and especially when it comes down to the excitement of what they might run out on. There is no more analysis in the end. We just want to see them go up ahead. Who takes the victory? Who takes the title? I feel no matter what, it's going to be an interesting story to tell.
3, 2,
As it is going to be the Fox versus the Mewtwo here, opening on PS2.
Hey, that you've been waiting for this all night to return, and whoop, seems that Claytron is, well, not getting the better end of those trades.
No, they are not. As immediately Claytron, with a lot of these nairs, is trying to just, well, box out Fox, but that nair does not have the best hitboxes. A lot of Fox's aerials will just beat it out if you have that preemptively, but landing with the nair on top, that's not going to quite do it, as that nair is just such a good extender.
Though, seems the Fox able to get back on the stage. Claytron's finally figured out what they want to do. It's the back throw that always works. Now having up the Shadow Ball. We're seeing as the Fox needs to be able to move in, is starting to look for a bit, but with the slow side B, he's going to be able to down. That was from a good foot away.
Yeah, now it's dead even. Ooh, almost setting up a touch situation, but Phenom is able to escape that. And now, oh no! Caught right inside Fox. In that scenario, sometimes you want to DI down and just shield against that Fox up tilt, but I think because of how floaty Mewtwo is and how light, that wouldn't even have been a factor.
I think you have a good point, but you know, hopefully that will be a reoccurrence that we'll be able to see to get that true answer, as Glatron, now wanting to put in the pressure, is playing extremely close to Deflector and just stop that Shadow Ball, but the shield doing more than enough as they juggle each other around. The back throw doesn't lead to a confirm here, but they are in a dangerous spot.
Remember I said this game for Mewtwo would be one off stage? You see how much pressure they are putting on constantly. On the ledge, off stage, using the down smash at ledge, Shadow Ball, uncharged Shadow Ball. So much pressure, non-stop. Trying to rise up with that forward air, but now you're above Phenom. This is where Phenom can shine. They have been known to get amazing juggles in the past, pressuring at the ledge with those empty hops, with those back airs, and now they get Playtron above them once again. Going up. All the way up.
Yep.
Elevators here, ding, ding, ding. You are sent off the top right now. Phenom looking to get some points on the board. Uh-oh, but you're all the way under. Okay. An accidental pineapple right there. I think they tried to go down and maybe wall jump, but either way, that was not executed, and now it's a dead even game. But look at this, already a nice little string from Phenom.
It's working well. They're at relatively even stocks, well, percentage-wise, because Glatron's going to have that damage to even it up, but it's mattering more that Arlington, look at this, the Fox jumping around, may not have a ship, but still speed as lightning. Now being forced into the air, Mewtwo really doesn't want to play it. There is more onto the ground, and the Fox is well versed in how to take those footsie fights.
Yeah, Fox loves to weave in and out like that and get those huge confirms right there. Nair and up smash on a character as light as Mewtwo. You know that's a guaranteed kill, and that will be Phenom putting a point on the board. Now you need to get at least 1-2 stock to even tie that. And based off of how close that was, I'm not sure that's going to be happening. Claytron had the edge in the beginning, but once Phenom was a little more comfortable with just beating out hitboxes like the Nair with their superior hitboxes, then it became a little more challenging.
A very scary moment. Arlington, newcomers into the ring, and yet going up against William and Mary, maybe ending that positive streak. That's a lie. William and Mary, this match is just a learning curve for them. And, well, when it goes down to the second match, we're going to see if those learning chances are going to be making the major differences. I mean, especially with the possible next map switch. I wouldn't be too surprised if we just... Actually, no, I don't want to guess the map too much. These players, I'm more trying to pay attention to the... Well, lay it on to me. What can the Mewtwo do to go up against this Fox? That's the point that I'm more looking at, because they didn't seem to want to play in the air.
I would not hate a town and city pick. With the smaller side blast zones and the more standard top, I feel like you're fine there, because Mewtwo loves to kill off the side with edge guards and with just like forward airs. Some very strong moves kill up the side. Even Shadow Ball is a kill move, but based on the Reflector, I'm not sure we'll see that as much. Meanwhile, Fox loves to kill off the top. Town and City takes away a lot of those platforms, sometimes, that Fox loves to use as extenders. And it also enables Mewtwo to get very early kills off the side with edge guards. So if I was them, I would either ban Town and City. No, they're just going straight back, which I also don't mind. Wait, hold on. They actually banned Town. Okay, I don't know this matchup nearly as much as I thought. I'm going to stop speculating on stages. I'll leave that to the professionals.
I agree. If there's anything I've learned when it comes down to casting here, matches are entertaining, they are surprising, but more than anything, they will leave you with your jaw dropped. Never the same outcome, never the same match, even in these rounds. The Mewtwo, Playtron versus Phenom, it's going to be the matchup. Now we see a little bit of hit just with the laser. They are continuous back kicks just working well. Playtron is playing more to the side of the stage now. How do you look at this, especially with Playtron not getting the end out of these trades?
Right now, Phenom has kept them so boxed out. But there's that up B landing I was talking about, but it wasn't quite close enough to the ground. If you land on the ground with that, it's pretty safe. However, landing in the air like that, an invitation for a character as fast as Fox to run right in for the punish. Now, though, Playtron gets their turn in advantage. What can they do with it? Right now, Phenom, that spot dodge, not going to pay off. Is this just going to be them taking turns destroying each other, no, that down air resets things.
They are just, being nice, seeing how this is going to work. Maybe a little bit of trades, but niceties are over. They just realized that this is the final match and you need the 2 stocks. Claytron, this is a scary moment for you because you're already at that percentage. Wow, look at that. 74% for the Fox, still going strong, pushing in, and you said you wanted to see the Fox 4. I'm now understanding more and more as we see the back grab throwing them off, but how does the Fox stop you from getting on?
Oof. And we'll try to go for the 2-frame right there. Fox isn't going to, Fox isn't going to edge guard you, they're going to edge trap you with the fact that they can just short hop around, completely mix you up, and then get... Did that down air really send them that far at 0%? Man, that sends far. But either way, that up smash, that's going to be a great jump call out, but you're still behind 2 stocks. Claytron needs a miracle right now, and I'm not sure they're going to get it, as right now, Phenom is looking kind of untouchable. They're slippery right here, as they're spot dodging right through that dash attack. Look
at this. Claytron, though, at the 1 stock, high percentage, and it's the kick. The old melee special, as I'd like to call it, solely because the animations look so similar. That is how Fox takes the victory. Arlington, very proud of you today.
And, I mean, look at this. Completely reading that movement back towards center. That was beautiful right there. And, I mean, that called out a couple options, but either way, Claytron, even if they didn't get red that one chance, all Phenom needed to do was guess right exactly once. That's all they needed. And Phenom was able to get that in the end. And I do love, I mean, this is an oversimplification, but I love how Phenom, hold on, could we run back that up smash hit again? If we could go back there, did they run into that and then get scooped up right in the middle of it? They're like, oh, let me run. Oh, it was a roll. I thought they just dashed into it. I'm like, what is going on there? But no, that lingering hitbox is going to scoop you right on up. It's like a whirlpool sucking you up towards that hitbox.
Very funny moment, I would definitely say. But look at that, 15-10, a score line closer than I ever thought it truly could be. Because we always go into these matches feeling that the way that it ends, well, no, 19-10, it's always going to be a lot more to that 1-1. At least that's how I always expect it. I'm terrified of these players and the time they have to make those changes.
Yeah, and we are going to be going in to ask a little bit more about those changes, those adaptations, because we've got an interview with Davey lined up. Quick little one before we get into the next game, so don't go anywhere. EGFC will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the EGFC. Like I said, very quick little break because we're here with Davey from UT Arlington after that win. Davey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Now, starting off, I want to go back to the beginning of this match, or before the beginning of this, because last week you suffered your first loss against Mississippi, and I had to bring up the losses, but that definitely motivated you based on how you came into this. So I got to ask, like, what was the prep between last week and this one?
We just took a break. We don't lose often. So when we lost last week, that kind of took a lot out of us. So we took the week to, gather ourselves together. It's pretty much all mental.
Yeah. And hey, that R&R breaks, those are important, man. So I'm glad you're able to get that.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it is very true. You guys are very, I want to say too often put on to that ending grade, and especially since this is, you haven't been here for too long, so you're getting more used to it.
Yeah.
How important was it to just take those rests, or was it something a little bit more that ended helping you guys swing it in when every match and every fight was going into that third round?
How important it was to take the break, he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very important. I don't know about. I mean, the rest. I'm sure the rest of the team felt the same way. But after last week, it took a lot out of me. It's just really important that we took that break.
Yeah, it is tough to go through that, and I completely understand. But moving on to, well, this match, don't want to be living in the past
Yeah.
for too long. Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about your personal secondaries, because I remember I only saw you on the PT to start out, but your Aegis is looking clean. Do you have any particular reasoning for switching between the two?
I think generally, like, I as a player, my Aegis is a lot better, but it's just for the past few weeks I've been playing PT. I'm trying to get back on Pyra though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, rise and grind on that one. And hey, not a bad character to specialize in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so when ending out for me, honestly, I just want to know, do you feel somebody at Arlington very showed up today? Give a little love to some of the crewmates after this amazing match.
Yeah. It was 2-2. We were going back and forth. Big shout outs to Phenom for taking it home for us. I was pretty stressed, personally, as a captain. I was pretty stressed. I was like, oh, we're gonna lose another game, but he took it. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, it's great to hear that gratitude, and I'm sure all that practice, all that time to yourself is going to help you all improve going into the playoff season. But for now, congrats again on the win, and thank you so much, Davey, for this interview.
Thank you.
No problem. And with that, we're going to go to a very brief break, and after that, we're going to have our last match of the night here on EGFC. So I've been Q Miles, the Spin User Intel. Stick around. We're going to be right back.